Hello, beautiful day today, beautiful fall day out here for daily practice. Today I'm going to be doing some practice and I'm inviting you along. Thanks for tuning in and watching some practice over here. So it's just practice, it's not a teaching session, it's just some practicing I'm doing, just inviting you along. Today I'm working on some Kobudo, and what I'm working with today is the sai. So today's practice is with the sai, and specifically throwing the sai, developing skills of throwing the sai. Three things you need in throwing the sai: you need focus, control, and projection. Those three things are so important. All right, just the sai alone, for those that might not know too much about it, a very brief run through on here. This is a sai, okay? All right, now you have different parts of the sai, and I'll just go through this fast. You have the point, you have the shaft, you have the yoko, you have the handle, and you have the head here. All parts of the sai are used, okay, for different reasons. Okay, so what you have here is you have the point generally for stabbing, for throwing. You'll be using the point. The shaft here, this is used blocking, make sure it's tight against your arm. You could be blue at striking, you can strike. Strike is safe for striking to the neck. You'd strike to the neck, come in here, point, yoko, coming in here. You can use this for controlling, catching weapons here, turning in here, and different parts over here. Now the head is used also for many different striking techniques. Also, if it combined with your karate, in karate years ago, weapons was an important part of karate as well. It seems to be separated a lot of times now, but it was an important part. And the head was used a lot of time in striking techniques, to vital areas especially. All right, now this came from China. This is what it looks like here. And the Chinese police would use this as the same as the Okinawan police would pick this up. The sai was a symbol of authority, just like in law enforcement, you have a badge you show. They would show their sai here. This would be a symbol of their authority that they have. Now this here particular sai, I'm not going to be using today for the throwing, although it's a good sai. Oh, one other thing is the balance here. When you pick a sai, you want the right size and everything. If you go right across the yoko here, see, this is balanced right here. Okay, so you have a balanced sai. Finger is here, should come up to the head. This comes down, your arm should come slightly past the elbow here. If it's up here, it's too high, down here is too low. So this should be right by, a little bit past the elbow. This way, if you're using your sai, also the striking techniques in here, you can see that would come in and you would strike a person right in here. This chamber is here, coming right in here. So you can use that for striking. So this is an old sai that old Okinawan karate master had made for me for my specifications. And this is one of my favorites right here. However, you can use anything as long as you develop your skills of focus, control, and especially projection, that you know how to project. Whether you're throwing a sai, you're throwing a yare, a spear, okay? You're throwing rock, or even if you're just practicing your skills and throwing quarters on a plate and landing them every time on a plate. Now the important thing with throwing a sai here is you want to hit your target every time. No matter what distance you're at, you want to hit your target every time. If you don't hit your target every time, you're put in a bad situation, in a dangerous situation, if you're missing, okay? So you want to make sure you hit that every single time, all right? And that takes a lot of skill and a lot of focus, control, and projection. I keep pressing that over here. Now, today we'll be doing some throwing. These are my throwing sais I've had. These I've had long after 60 years, I think. These is old sais. And you can see here, it's not exact fit. Look, these sais are too short for me over here. Look at this, I have a bent sai. Okay, so these things, after over 60 years of practice almost every day, these are pretty beat up. However, the point is if you have your skills down, you have to be able to adapt to any weapon at any time. Okay, not just the one that you're practicing with all the time. So I'll be using these for my throwing practice. Now, and another important part is drawing your sai. Now, you could have one sai, and it's not size, it's sai, S-A-I. You can have one sai, two sai, or three sai. Okay, there's kata, like in Matayoshi Kobudo is one of my main systems. I've studied a number of different systems of Kobudo, but Matayoshi, I trained under Shimpo Matayoshi personally for quite a while, and he was my main Kobudo instructor. But in here, there's different ways to draw your sai, okay? So on drawing the sai here, you can have 1, 2, or 3, and there are kata, like you have Nicho no sai and Sancho no sai. Sometimes they would carry 2, sometimes 3. The other third sai was for the throwing. Okay, now the police would use this, and generally it's for the bottom part of the body that you use the sai on. This is where they would hook people here. You come in, hook in here, catch in here, control in here. You can also use it, of course, for blocking and hooking, but the bottom part is where it was mostly used. Now throwing, on throwing the techniques over here, okay, it's also you drawing. Now what you could think of, okay, you can think of the Wild West here. That's a good way to think. Okay, you know how they had the gunfights, they got the OK Corral? Well, the same thing here. You're carrying your sai. Some people I see, which I believe is incorrect, you could see them come out here, draw the sai, grab the point, and then throw down this way. Okay, you guess you could do it that way, but that's not basically the way it was done. What you do is on here, coming out, you want to be able to get your sai out fast in here. So what you would be doing coming in here would be right out, boom, right out this way for striking techniques. So if you're striking, you want to just come right out here, and again, right up into the striking area in here for striking. Now for throwing, the same thing. You would come in, catching your yoko the same way we showed before, coming right in here, coming back, and you're ready for the throws, coming down this way, or again, throwing out this way. Okay, now you could do this from open ready here, or you could just here, just come right up in here, come right up in this way, and then go right in for a throw, or you could step forward on your throws. So there's many different ways to draw, there's many different ways to throw. What I'm going to practice today is practicing my distance throwing. Most of the time, you see in kata, and you see also in practicing, most people you're doing at 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot distances on throwing. Coming in here, you're coming up and throwing down this way, straight down towards the foot or towards this area. And then that's fine. But you can use it in a lot of different distances as well. Today, I'm practicing today at 5 feet, 15 feet, and I'm going to be going 30 feet. Okay, now the objective is to hit your target every single time. Okay, not 1 out of 10 or 20 or 30. Also, you want to hit with both parts. Now, generally speaking, again, you're throwing. When you throw it, this is the grip for the throw, this way. Okay, normally it's this way. See, normally you're grabbing this way, thumb on here. But for throwing, when you come down, it comes across the yoko this way and comes down. Okay, now I'll be working at 5, 15, but today I'm just going to do the 30 today over here, and I want to hit it every single time. That's important. So I'll start off on the throwing, and both sides, again, both parts. Usually it's the point. However, on occasion there is that you would use the head of the sai for different reasons, and I won't go into a whole story on teaching and how to strike in different ways. But so what I'm going to do is, I think my first throw at 30 feet, I'm going to try to get it to stick straight in, just to get the distance in here. And then I'm going to do a couple throws where I hit with the head of the sai. So I'm going to knock the pumpkin instead of stick the pumpkin. And then I'm going to go to just basic throwing and just getting some distance at 30 feet. Now it's fall time, so I found some very good use for pumpkins. Okay, this is my pumpkin throwing time. So I'm having a good time. You know, training should be serious when you're training, but also there's times for fun. This is my serious time developing some skills. Again, focus, control, and I keep pushing projection. You have to be able to do that. If you get those 3 down and learn how to do that, you can throw anything, any weapon, and get it on your target every time. So we're going to go into our training right now, and just watch. I'll just do a few shots just to give you the idea on throwing a sai. Nice to have you with us. Little sai practice today. Okay, practice time. A little more practice. Ah. Let's try again.
Wow, that was a good one.
Sigh. Here we go. Have more videos, go to Portas, Portaskarate, Portas Karate on YouTube. We got a bunch of videos. Always fun.